Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UWA Elite triple-decker all-access pre-show match on the road to Crossroads. Joined by former UWA Elite champion Eric Corvus, I'm Colin West, and that is Mikey Pacifica. Mikey Pacifica with a great opportunity to establish himself moving into the future of UWA Elite in this triple threat matchup.
Colin, I feel that your introduction with me is getting shorter and shorter as we progress as a commentary team.
Yes.
Before it was tag team champion, I champion, all that stuff, now it's just former UWA Elite champion.
Right.
Why is it going down?
I feel as though, I got no answer for that. Hey look, that's JP. Hey JP. Changing the subject, good to see Cousin Vinny. I mean, look, we don't like the guy, but good to see him. It's been a while.
It is. I mean, we were talking before, I was talking about being a former champion.
Right.
That man is a former trios champion with Kentucky Bred.
Sure is. And Cousin Vinny here with, just like I said for Mikey Pacifica, a great opportunity to establish himself in the singles ranks of UWA Elite. Both these men known to be part of factions. Mikey Pacifica, of course, one half of Ocean's 11. And here's a man that has figured out a way, like him or not, to stand out on his own. That is the Jersey Kid.
The Jersey Kid, the last time we saw him was in the Holy Trinity Church going one-on-one at Gold Rush with Adam Rose, and although he came out at the losing end of that match, really showed the UWA Elite a different side of himself, and you can tell he's coming into the fair this year very confident.
Very confident, and if you look at his facial expressions, very focused. This is not the fun-loving Jersey Kid that we saw last year walking around ringside with an acoustic guitar singing for the fans. This man's here to fight, and he's shown us a lot over the last couple of weeks here and the last couple of supercards in UWA Elite. Speaking of supercards, we are just a few short moments away from our prelude to Crossroads. And Eric Corvus, by the end of Crossroads, we will know who the #1 contender is to the UWA Elite Championship and who has won the biggest Crossroads tournament in history. Plus, Sean Damage, McNellis, and Hedges for the UWA Elite Championship. King Tech versus Joey Adams in a chairs match for the I Championship. And the Bro Team Pack and the Unstoppables for the UWA Elite Tag Team titles. Huge show, but that's coming up later. This triple threat match starts right now. And how do you see this one breaking down, Eric Corvus?
I mean, you were talking about how stacked we got Crossroads coming when you got three guys like this who are on the opening match of All Access. Like you said, Mikey Pacifica more known for his teaming with Vinny Pacifico in Ocean's 11. You got Vinny Cenzo, who's more known for his association with Kentucky Bred. Jersey Kid, like we were talking before, had a huge showing against Adam Rose. I don't know what it means for all three of these men going forward. A win would be huge, but a loss could be even worse.
I know. I mean, you look at this matchup as a double kick to the gut. I mean, these guys, say what you will, top to bottom, UWA Elite, these men have been wrestling each other for years, studying each other for a very long time. As tries to go for the pop-up powerbomb, but Vinny Cenzo is reversed into a Rana by Mikey Pacifica, who gets a rake to the eyes for his efforts. And that is maybe the difference and the edge that Jersey Kid has in this matchup over a guy like Mikey Pacifica. Jersey seems to have cut out all the flash, all the style from his game. He will rake you in the eyes if that's what it takes him to get the victory.
I mean, yeah, why not? You got to go to what works. We saw Jersey Kid, you brought it up last year, walking around, playing an acoustic guitar, very carefree, very fun-loving. But what was that getting him in the rankings of UWA Elite? He knows he needs to take his destiny into his own hands, and if that means putting his hands in the eyes of other men, so be it.
Oh, beautiful overhead belly-to-belly throw by the Jersey Kid. Mikey Pacifica in a lot of trouble early on, and just a 2 count for Jersey Kid.
And Kid, very, very underrated power. I mean, you always look at him, you see his style, very lucha, very fast-paced, but don't get him wrong, he will overpower you when it comes down to it.
Talking about power, high bridge, low bridge from Vincenzo, cousin Vinny, a Kentucky bred, into the cover, and we've often said Vincenzo, one of the shorter competitors in UWA Elite in terms of height, but not short on violence. He's like a pit bull when he gets in the ring with you.
He really is. That's the metaphor I was just going to use. And I've seen Vincenzo in some just knockout, drag out, hardcore wars, and that man is a father. That man's a father. Like, imagine growing up with that man as your father. Like, his kids are not misbehaving at home.
Absolutely not. They'll get Alpo for dinner. Jersey Kid back in, now taking it to cousin Vinny with a big southpaw Euro. Now whips Vinny across the ring and lands, beautiful, beautiful slide-through clothesline. Does that move have an actual name? I've never known that.
I mean, The Miz just called it the Miz line, but...
That's true, but...
Kid just followed it up with a flatliner variation. And Chenzo able to get his shoulder up at the last minute. Now, where is Chenzo's head at? With everything that's been going on with Kentucky bred lately, Georgie Boy having a serious back injury, everything breaking down between Lucas Finnegan and Clay Sawyer, where does that leave Chenzo in the grand scheme of things?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think that it leaves cousin Vinny in a very precarious situation where his future may be in Clay Sawyer's hands, especially if he doesn't win this matchup. Now, if cousin Vinny wins this matchup, he's certified himself as a viable singles competitor in UWA Elite. If he doesn't emerge from this match victorious, then he basically has to hope Clay Sawyer either advances in Crossroads or defeats Lucas Finnegan in a future matchup. Otherwise, Kentucky bred as we know it might be dead and buried.
So I think that Chenzo might have the most to win in this match.
And the most to lose, Eric. And the most to lose. I mean, you look, Jersey Kid still, win or lose in this matchup as, he's looking for a swinging, oh my gosh.
Right into the face bump.
Wow, I was expecting a swinging neck breaker there.
1, 2, Pacifica really close to the ropes there. I don't think he realized where he was.
No, all he needed to do was reach up, and now a kick to the gut, returned by a kick to the gut, and that lefty southpaw Euro of Jersey Kid finds the mark on cousin Vinny's jaw again. Now Vinny reverses, picks him up in a fireman's carry, and looking maybe a shout out to John Rome there.
Ooh, kicked out, but got DVD into a spinebuster variation.
Yeah, version of John Rome's Emancipation Proclamation, and John Rome, speaking of him, got his hands full as two of the most dominant factions in UWA Elite will meet for the Tag Team Championships at Crossroads. The Unstoppables meet the Bro Team Pack. And now Mikey Pacifica playing a little bit of loop-de-loo with cousin Vinny here, who's not quite sure what corner he's in. But Vinny meets him halfway, looking for a superplex here, and this would change the complexion of everything, Eric Corvus.
Oh, and Chenzo's finding himself in a very precarious position. Mikey Pacifica known for that top rope frog splash.
Jersey Kid nowhere to be found.
Hits it.
Oh my gosh, that's it if he floats into the cover. 1, 2, and Kid is not in time. That is a big, impressive win for Mikey Pacifica, Eric Corvus. Known for mostly tag team success this year, but Mikey Pacifica standing on his own 2 feet and beating 2 very dangerous competitors in this matchup.
Yeah, Vinny Pacifico got to be very, very proud of his partner, keeping the Ocean's 11 name alive this week at the Middlesex County Fair on the opening contest of All Access, and this is just the beginning, Colin.
Oh, it absolutely is. 2 more matches to go here on our All Access pre-show, and then stay tuned. UWAElite.com presents the biggest show of the summer, the biggest tournament in UWA Elite history. Crossroads is coming.
The first week in August 2016, UWA Elite brings you its biggest event ever. The 13th annual Crossroads Tournament comes to you live from the Middlesex County Fair, August 1st to the 4th qualifying rounds, and the finals coming your way August the 6th, Saturday night, 8 p.m. 36 competitors will battle to see who will become the #1 contender to the UWA Elite Champion. Join us every day at the Middlesex County Fair for the 2016 Crossroads Tournament.
Schedule 4. You said it.
2 out of 3. What did they say?
1 fall. Thank you. 4, 1.
Scratch that. I want to go 0 falls with Corey Dillinger. The most diligent man in the world. Eric Corvus. That's a lofty title, but I want to say the man backs it up. He is one of the most dangerous men ever to step between the ropes here in UWA Elite.
And though Corey Dillinger hasn't been a prevalent face here at the Middlesex County Fair, when he is here, he gets it done.
He sure does. I'm talking about a man who's been getting it done, albeit sporadically, on and off for 6 years, the entire history of this company. Matt Vertigo looking great this week at the fair. Eric, I talked to Matt Vertigo backstage. Apparently put on 25 to 30 pounds of muscle mass and body weight. Still retains a lot of the athleticism and agility that comes with a man that height. And with that slender frame, but packs a little bit more of a punch. And I, for one, have been very excited to watch a new evolution in Matt Vertigo this week at the Middlesex County Fair.
Definitely. He may have put on that 25 to 30 pounds of muscle, but you can definitely tell it hasn't affected his ring work. The muscle memory is still there. He's still able to go. He's still able to keep it quick. He's still able to pull out those high-flying maneuvers that he's known for. And he may have been dealt some rough cards over the years with some injuries and having to take some time off to go back to school, but he is back here in the UWA Elite, and he is turning heads to this new generation of the UWA Elite Army.
He certainly is. And we say he's part of this new generation, and he is still a very young man and a young competitor, but he's been around since the very first UWA Elite show. In fact, Eric Corvus, he was one of the first 4 men in a UWA Elite ring ever, as Matt Vertigo and King Tech took on Fire Liger and Hedges in the very first match in UWA Elite history. And those 4 men, starting with this matchup, have huge roles to play at UWA Elite Crossroads this year.
Yeah, but right now, only thing that Matt Vertigo needs to worry about is that standing right in front of him, Corey Dillinger, and he's able to kind of readjust his center of gravity and take Dillinger into the corner, but he did not stay on him. Corey Dillinger seen an opening, and he took it.
And that's the interesting thing about a man Corey Dillinger's size. As a drop toe hold there, that's what you need to do. You would think as a smaller competitor that you've got to hit and move, but what you're saying, Eric Corvus, is it almost behooves you to strike and stay on the man.
I mean, yeah, listen, Corey Dillinger just tried to play Matt Vertigo's game. He tried to grapple with him, he tried to be quick, and you know what? He actually held his own for a minute. I was very, very surprised with the grappling prowess of Corey Dillinger. Maybe something he keeps in his back pocket to bring out every now and again, but Matt Vertigo's speed able to get the better of the Dillinger one.
Yeah, but you know what? It's only a matter of time. We've seen flashes of brilliance from this man, Corey Dillinger, who, oh my goodness gracious, I am not sure what happened there, but if we can break it down, Matt Vertigo looked like he was going for a sliding drop kick between the first and second ropes. Dillinger stopped him. Vertigo put the brakes on, got a boot scrape across. Oh, this is a mistake. Oh, this is a mistake.
Not disrespect him.
And turn your back. Oh, and that hat goes flying. I'm telling you right now, Matt Vertigo, still that fun-loving guy that we've known for years. I tell you what, you don't play with Corey Dillinger. You do not play with this man.
That's a huge mistake. Not only taking his hat and disrespecting him, but also giving him time to recuperate, giving him that time to regroup, and look what happens.
Yeah, recuperate, if you will.
Recuperate. There we go.
Let's do it.
That's hashtag recuperate for anyone who actually watches these.
All 6 of you, I want to see that hashtag on Twitter tonight. Seriously though, UWAElite.com, we make jokes about our viewership, but let's be fair. Last year, Eric Corbus, we had over 1,000 people live in the crowd at the Middlesex County Fair for our Super Card, and we're bringing it back this year for Crossroads. We expect those numbers. At any given time, we have 400, 500, 600 deep under this tent for the main events of the evening, and why not this year? The largest Crossroads tournament in history as the large Corey Dillinger goes into the cover, gets a count of 2. Excuse me. What are you looking forward to most? Is it the Crossroads tournament, Eric? Is it the championship match between Damage and Hedges? What are you looking forward to?
For me, it has to be the Crossroads tournament. We have 4 triple threat matches and then a fatal 4-way final in the Crossroads tournament. There's so many different angles and so many different directions and so many different ingredients that it just keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire night.
Man, I'll tell you what, speaking of a fatal 4-way, Corey Dillinger hit that southpaw lariat. It probably felt to Matt Vertigo like he got hit by 4 guys at once. Corey Dillinger, one of the most impactful men in UWA Elite, has gone toe-to-toe with all, apologies to Steve Mack and Louis Ramos, with the heavy hitters of the United Wrestling Alliance right now. He's stood toe-to-toe with the King Tex, the Hedges, and so on, and he has held his own, and much like that 2.5 count, that near fall, it just seems like he's one missing ingredient away from being right in that championship picture.
He really is. Every person he's been in the ring with, he has taken them to the limit. I don't know if it's going to be released before this or if it'll even get a release, but right here at the Middlesex County Fair, Corey Dillinger went one-on-one with the UWA Elite champion, Sean Damage McNellis, and it was probably one of my favorite matches of the Monday through Friday series.
And one of Sean Damage McNellis' biggest tests in his three reigns as UWA champion, as now Matt Vertigo, out of desperation and self-preservation, gets out of the way, delivers a huge roundhouse kick to the head of Corey Dillinger, and Vertigo gonna fly! Oh, big elbow drop off the top. This could be a huge win too? No.
Oh man, for a guy the name of Vertigo, he seems super comfortable on the top rope, falling from the sky.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this is a perfect matchup of a contrast of styles, a perfect example of the fight of Corey Dillinger versus the flight of Matt Vertigo, who shoots the half, but could not, just because of the extra size of Corey Dillinger. You saw he tried to tuck that left arm in, but Dillinger able to break out and grab the bottom rope there.
You gotta think if he would have just hooked the leg a little bit deeper, he would have had that pinfall.
Think so, and the fans really starting to get behind Matt Vertigo, who quickly has gone from a guy who just came back in to what a pounce! He didn't travel too far, but Dillinger buried his mass deep in the sternum of Matt Vertigo. Look at Vertigo, he could barely breathe in there.
Dillinger coming in like a wrecking ball, almost devastating. Here he comes, we know that T-bone power slam.
Oh!
I'll
tell you what, Matt Vertigo, we are still impressed by you. Good showing, but my goodness gracious, that T-bone exploder power slam. Corey Dillinger, impressive in victory here on the all-access pre-show to Crossroads. Did you really say he came in like a wrecking ball?
He did, and it wasn't even supposed to be a Miley joke, but you took it that way. He legitimately took him out. He wrecked him like a wrecking ball.
Wrecked him? Damn near killed him.
And we were talking about, this is the first year that Crossroads is at the Middlesex County Fair. However, the previous years, it's always been iWrestle. This is one of the first times iWrestle is going to take place in South River, New Jersey.
ever wanted control of your own pro wrestling company? Always wanted to tell your favorite wrestlers what to do? Well, on Saturday, August the 13th at Holy Trinity Church, UWA Elite gives you that power. UWA Elite presents iWrestle, where the fans have control over every match and every championship. Tickets are available right now by logging on to UWAElite.com. Don't miss the interactive fun as UWA Elite presents iWrestle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your main event of the Crossroads All Access Pre-Show here at UWA Elite, and welcome to two of the scariest men I've ever seen in the United Wrestling Alliance. What has happened to Jeremiah Eric Corbus, the man once known as the Scout? And for that matter, what's happened to Magic? One of the most beloved men in the history of this company. What has happened to these guys? How did they get so lost?
I was just about to say that, Tom. There's only one word that can describe the two of them, and that is lost. And that's why they are referred to as the Lost Boys. Since the patriarch of the ultraviolet movement, H-Jack, left the UWA Elite, they have been running on fumes. They have been ramblers. They don't have a home. They don't have a destination. They don't have a plan. They just do things.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking about two guys who are doing big things as of late here in UWA Elite and in Hollywood. Chris Powers, Thomas Coburn, the Power Guns, with a great opportunity to move up the tag team ranks here on the All Access Crossroads Pre-Show. But I'll tell you what, this might be the most dangerous test that the Power Guns have faced to date here in UWA Elite, Eric.
I mean, they gotta regroup. They have to kind of make the next step, figure out what the next plan is going to be. They made it to the end of the Tag Team Combat Cup, unfortunately losing once again to the Bro Team Pack. Seems to be the thorn in the side of Thomas Coburn almost his entire career here in UWA Elite, but he has to look past that. He has to look forward, and a defeat over Magic and Jeremiah today here on All Access would do huge things, reestablishing the momentum for the Power Guns.
It certainly would, but by no means is that a foregone conclusion. Magic and Jeremiah, lest we forget, because, you know, sometimes we get through half a season, Eric Corbus, and the beginning of the year seems like a lifetime ago. These are men who 6-7 months ago hit hedges with an automobile, tried to commit vehicular homicide on the then UWA Elite champion. These men are capable at any time of doing really anything. As Jeremiah rushes in without Magic's assistance, and now Magic, oh goodness.
Magic looks,
that's a family show.
Oh, Magic looks even more lost than usual.
Well, wouldn't you be? It's like running heads first into a pig's tail. Gross.
And now they're yelling at each other. This is I don't want to see these guys break up. I feel they're like two of the only guys in the UWA Elite locker room that really get one another, or that can really possibly understand one another, and it seems like they keep having this tension between them.
Well, I mean, you gotta understand that Magic is used to a certain level of success in his career. He's a legend in these parts. And Jeremiah thinks that Magic's face printed out and put on a stick is actually Magic the human being. So I think that might be part of the disconnect. A couple of losses and a certifiable crazy person generally don't make a very, very successful pairing. But now the bell is rung, and oh boy, you want to talk about a mismatch. Thomas Coburn and Magic, but I think in Thomas Coburn's head, he's now so much of a larger-than-life character in his films that he probably thinks he's as big as Magic, doesn't he?
I mean, you can see the confidence and the demeanor of Coburn since his return from the Far East, filming his movies, doing his press junkets, doing his interviews. You can definitely tell he carries himself in much higher regard. But no matter how high you're carrying yourself, if you're in the ring with a man like Magic, you better have your head on a swivel or he's going to put it on one.
That's very, very true. You remember last year, Ace Jack referred to Magic as the murderer. He's a man who shortens careers, a man who has been beloved for years, but I'll tell you what, when he gets into a mind frame where the only man he cares about is Magic, you are in grave physical danger every time you're in the ring with him, and Thomas Coburn's finding that out right now in a very, very difficult life lesson.
Oh boy,
oh God, this could be the end early. Oh, thank goodness for Coburn.
Imagine being on the opposite end of the ring and seeing that man running at you full speed.
I just peed my pants. I just peed myself a little bit.
Magic catching Coburn in a spine buster. You talked before about the notoriety that Magic is used to in his career. If he was to injure a movie star like Thomas Coburn, that's right, on the front cover of TMZ, that's on E! Entertainment News.
Page 6 of the Daily News, for sure. Or, what kind of notoriety do you get? The Hollywood stuntman, Christopher Powers, takes death-defying leaps of faith and stunts for a living. If you're able to lay out a professional stuntman, I would say that's just as impressive, isn't it? Now Coburn flopping around on the deck like a fish. That's another reference. But now Jeremiah going to a territory... What is he doing? I think Tommy Coburn is a little fresher than we thought he was.
I don't think Jeremiah has noticed that Coburn has his wits about him.
Oh no, he's playing possum down on the canvas. Oh, and that was too easy. I'll tell you what, that is some very, very good acting. It's now the tag, and we're going to get to see Christopher Powers, the Hollywood stuntman, come in and take a pound of flesh from the lost boy Jeremiah, trying to fight his way. Wait a minute, what's going on here?
Oh, it doesn't seem like referee Austin Mitchell saw the tag.
Jeez. And just when it started to look like the machine gun Thomas Coburn would get a reprieve, he's right back in there with now both of the Lost Boys. And those two elbows point right in the heart. 2-0.
What a heaping, steaming spoonful of unfortunate events for Thomas Coburn.
Somebody call Lemony Snicket. I mean, actually, don't. He's probably not all that relevant anymore.
Does he have a phone number?
I'm not sure, but if this was 2013, my commentary would be super relevant. Being a super relevant, oh, gosh. Thomas Coburn, you may be an action star, but you will probably need some assistance breathing after this matchup.
No stuntman or stand-ins are going to come in while you're taking this beating right now, Coburn. You got to figure something out. You got to find that opening, because Jeremiah and Magic will pick apart the bones.
And now Coburn trying to lay in some forearms. So now Jeremiah has Magic holding Coburn.
Able to get out of the way.
Yeah, but this is that disconnect between Jeremiah and Magic that we were talking about. And finally, Chris Powers makes his way into the matchup, and he is tearing the Lost Boys apart. Big back elbow to Jeremiah, one to Magic, but it's going to take a lot more than that to get the big man and the legend off of his feet.
Well, maybe Chris Powers has something in mind. It looks like he's putting together the ingredients, Tetrising the situation. Will.
Did you just...
Yeah,
did you just make Tetris a verb?
I did.
I like it.
Did it not work?
No, it worked. That landed. It landed very well. And now, look at this! Innovative offense from Chris Powers. Blockbuster.
Flipping neck breaker DDT combination. Wow.
My goodness. Very impressive. Floats into the cover on Jeremiah, but Jeremiah not the legal man. So he rolls over to Magic. 2-0.
Magic tried to get his hands on Chris Powers. Chris Powers able to use his weight.
And now Jeremiah going in and looking for that running knee lift with the surgically repaired knee brace. Thomas Coburn hitting the cutter. And now the power guns. Well, never mind.
Power guns overpowered by Magic.
In a big way.
There's nothing magical about that.
No,
that was textbook.
And Christopher Powers thrown out of the ring. But if I'm not mistaken, Christopher Powers and Magic are the legal men at this point. Although, I gotta be honest, in the commotion, I may have lost track.
Well, I mean, Austin Mitchell's job is to keep track of the rules, and that is one of them, so hopefully he'll have an answer for us.
Oh, pistol whip! Pistol whip from the machine gun into the swanton!
That's stunt,
and now,
man.
He is the legal man!
1,
well, I guess
2,
it doesn't...
3, and we are done! Jeremiah's trying to break it up. Too little, too late.
No such luck. I guess it didn't matter who of the Power Guns was the legal man. A double cover puts down the legend, Magic. And as Jeremiah and Magic struggle yet again, the Power Guns keep finding success out of the ashes of disappointment from the Tag Team Combat Cup. And one has to think that regardless of what happens between the Pro Team Pack and the Unstoppables later on at Crossroads, these two men have put themselves right in the tag team title picture for the future.
Definitely. They showed us their prevalence as a team in the Tag Team Combat Cup. They made it to the finals. They had a decisive victory over the Lost Boys, Magic and Jeremiah. The sky is the limit for the Power Guns.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on All Access. For Eric Corvus, I'm Colin West. We will see you at Crossroads.